Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum students. This is Tariq. In the previous lecture we discussed how to determine the number of experimental outcomes of an experiment using counting rules. And we study about the different counting rules like counting rule for combinations and counting rule for permutations. Today we will learn about the tree diagram. What is tree diagram? Tree diagram is a graphical approach to determine the number of experimental outcomes of an experiment and to list those experimental outcomes. So tree diagram graphically represent the number of experimental outcomes of an experiment. To clarify this further, I am putting one example. For example, draw the tree diagram for tossing a coin twice. So experiment is toss a coin, and this experiment carry two steps. We have to toss a coin twice, two times. And each toss carry two outcomes. One is head and other is tail. When we will toss a coin, so two outcomes are possible. Maybe there is a head on the up face of the coin, or maybe there is a tail on the up face of the coin. Tossing a coin carry two outcomes. One is head and other is tail. Now the question is this: they determine the number of experimental outcomes by tossing a coin twice by graph, by tree diagram. This is our objective. So we will draw the tree diagram for the toss a coin twice. We will start from the leftmost node. This black point is called node, and this is to the left side of the tree. So that is why this node is called most left node of the tree diagram. We will start from here. Now experiment is a toss a coin, and experiment carry two steps, so we will toss a coin two times. So suppose when we first time toss a coin, so two outcomes are possible, and I am showing those two outcomes by tree, by paths, by lines. So I am starting from this leftmost node, this blue line to this, from leftmost node to this right side node. I am drawing a tree, I am drawing a line, I am drawing a path, and this blue path represents the first outcome, which is head. Maybe there is a head on the up face of the coin when we toss. And this green line, start from the leftmost node to this right node. This green line represents the second possible outcome, which is tail, because we know that toss a coin carry two outcomes, and we draw the path, we draw the tree for head and tail, and this is the tree. Start from this leftmost node, from this black point, we draw the path to this point, and we draw the path to this point. These two trees, these two lines, these two paths represent two outcomes, head and tail. Now when we toss second time, because we have to toss a coin twice, so to toss a coin second time, again there is possible that there is a head on the up face of the coin, or maybe there is tail. Every toss carry two outcomes. So how we will show the outcomes of the second toss by tree, by graph? So we will further extend each outcome of the first toss into two further trees, into two further paths. We will extend each outcome of the first task. This is the first outcome of the first task head. So I'm extending further. I'm drawing further two paths from this first outcome head. From this node, I'm further extending this blue line from this left node to this rightmost node. So this first outcome head we will further extend. We will further extend to two paths, to two trees. So this first tree represent head, and this second tree, this second line, this second path represent tail, because second task also carry two outcomes, head or tail. So the first task outcome we will further extend into two paths. We will further draw two lines. We will further draw two trees, two paths, and one path first show head outcome and second path show tail outcome. And now I will again further extend. I will further extend the second outcome of the first task into two paths, or into two lines, or into two trees. So this first path represent head and this second path represent tail. This is the way to draw the tree diagram. This is the way to graph the experiment toss a coin twice, and this graph is called tree diagram. Now how we will determine and how we will list the experimental outcome. So we will start from this leftmost node, from this black point, and we will follow the path. So I am starting from this point and I am following this path to this rightmost node. Start from the leftmost node and move toward the rightmost node at this path. Now this path carry two experimental outcome. One is head and other is also head. So we write here, we list here, first outcome head and second outcome also head. Now what does this head and head means? This means that we have to toss a coin twice. So when we toss one time, so there is a head on the up face of the coin, mean outcome is head. And when we toss a coin second time, because we have to toss a coin twice, so first toss give the outcome head and second toss also give the outcome head. So these are the possibilities that one who is tossing, who win both tosses. This is also head outcome on the up face in first toss, and in second toss again there is head on the up face. So both tosses one win. One who is tossing, he win both tosses. Now I am following this path or this tree to determine another possible outcome of tossing a coin twice. So start from the leftmost node and move toward the rightmost node. So this path I am following, and now this will give me another two outcomes. So this is head outcome and this is tail. So we list here head and tail. What does this mean? This means that when we toss first time, so there is head on the up face of the coin. But when we toss second time, so there is a tail on the up face of the coin. So two tosses carry two outcome. One appear head and other appear tail. When one time we toss, we win the toss and there is head. And when we second time toss, we lose the toss, there is tail. So the two outcomes are possible. First toss outcome is head and second toss outcome is tail. Now let me follow this path to determine another possibility of the two outcomes head and tail. So I am starting from the leftmost node and moving toward the rightmost node. So this path carry two outcomes. This path, one is tail and other is head. tail and head we list in here. What does this mean? This means that when we toss first time, so we lose the toss because there is tail on the up face of the coin. And when we toss second time, so we win the toss, there is head on the up face of the coin. So we list here. Now I'm again following this path. So we will follow this path, start from the leftmost node and move to the rightmost node. This path now I'm following. This. So this path carry two outcomes. This is tail and this is also tail. We list in here. Tail and tail. What does this mean? This means that when we will toss a coin twice and we first time toss, so we lose the toss and there is tail on the up face of the coin. And when we second time toss, so we again lose the toss and there is again tail on the up face of the coin. So both tosses we lose and outcome is tail and tail in each toss. In both tosses we have two outcomes, tail and tail. So we list the outcomes and now we can count to determine the number of experimental outcomes of tossing a coin twice. So look, this head one outcome, head tail second, tail head third and tail fourth. So we have total 4 experimental outcomes of an experiment. When we toss a coin twice, we determine the number of experimental outcomes by using tree diagram as well as we list the experimental outcomes. ما ایرا دوباره در زبان دری تشریح میکنیم. tree diagram ये बशक्ल ग्राफ ما اندازه میکنیم، محاسبه میکنیم که یک اکسپریمنت چی قدر چند یا چی قدر اکسپریمنتال آوتکمز داره او اکسپریمنتال آوتکمز چطور لیست میشه، چطور نوشته میشه. یعنی تری دیاگرام که است با کمک گراف اندازه میکنه، محاسبه میکنه که اکسپریمنت مجموعه چی قدر اکسپریمنتال آوتکمز داره او اکسپریمنتال آوتکمز کدام است و چطور لیست میشه. خو اینجا ما یک مثال دادیم که draw the tree diagram for tossing a coin twice. مثلا مثال یہ است که ما toss میکنیم یک سکه را، یک coin را خو دوار. یعنی اکسپریمنت چی است؟ اکسپریمنت toss a coin است. خو یہ اکسپریمنت دو steps داره، دو trials داره، دو مرحله داره. یعنی باید دواری toss شود، دواری coin toss شود. आले काइन के टास शवा हर टास दो आउटकम दारा, एक हेड एक टेल. ये बई माना कि वक्ती के टास शवा हो या हेड में बराया सारे बालाई सिका या टेल में बराया सारे बालाई सिका. ये दो आउटकम्स इम्कानात दारा. आले माँ अगर टास र दो वारी टास में कुनिम वो आउटकम्स की मेता वो ची के दर आउटकम्स मेता वो आउटकम्स कोदाम वो चतुर लिस्ट में शा माँ बकोमा के ट्री डायग्राम इरा वाज़ेह में कुनिम. ये ट्री डायग्राम शो. ये ब्लैक पॉइंट केस नुक्ता सियाह इरा नुक्ता बतरफ दस्ते चप मेगा अस तरफ दस्ते चप बाद मा शुरू कुनिम. खो अव्वल टास्क के मेशा अव्वल टास्क वो दो आउटकम्स मेता, एक हेड एक टेल. इरा मा बरशक्ल ग्राफ इतुर निशान मेतम. ये ब्लू लाइन की मा रसम कदम आज ये नुक्ता दस्ते चप शुरू कदम ब नुक्ता दस्ते रास आमदम इंजा. ये ब्लू लाइन केस इरा अव्वल आउटकम मेगा मसलन वो हेडस बालाए सरे से का हेड बरामद के टास शुद. और ये दोम ग्रीन लाइन की रसम कदम शुरू आज ये नुक्ता बतरफ चप कदम और बई नुक्ता आमदम बतरफ रास. खो ये ग्रीन लाइन दोम आउटकम र निशान में था कि वो टेलस वक्त के टास शवा दो आउटकम्स इम्कानात दारा हेड या टेल. वो आउटकम्स मा बशक्ल ट्री डायग्राम इंजा वाज़ेह कदम इंजा वज़ा कदम. ये ब्लू लाइन हेड र निशान में था और ये ग्रीन लाइन टेल र निशान में था. ये अव्वल टास शुद और अव्वल टास टू आउटकम में था, हेड या टेल. आले दोम टास्क के शवा वोम दो आउटकम में था, या हो हेड سر بالای سے کمی آیا یا ټیل سر بالای سے کمی آیا. دو آوتکمز باید چطور تری شوا، چطور گراف رسم شوا. خو از این نود ما مزید باید یہ آوتکم اولین که از هید، یہ آوتکم اولین را باید ما فردر اکستند کنیم، فردر پیش ببریم در شکل دو لاینز. یہ یک بلو لاین که است یہ آوتکم هید را نشان میتا وقتی که دوم واری تاس شوا، او یہ دوم بلو لاین که است یہ آوتکم ټیل را نشان میتا وقتی که دوم تاس شوا. چرا که دوم تاس هم دو آوتکمز امکانات داره، یا خو سر بالای سکا هید می برایا یا سر بالای سکا ټیل می برایا. با ای وجه مایه که دوم سٹیپ را دوم تاس را تری می کنیم، گراف رسم می کنیم، پاتس لاین جوڑ می کنیم. باید اولین آوتکم که است او را ما در دو بخش تقسیم کنیم. یک ای لاین گراف رسم کردیم، فردر او را اکستند کردیم، از این پوینت به این نقطه آمدیم، او این نقطه را به این طرف هم فردر اکستند کردیم، از این نقطه به این آمدیم. یہ هید شد او یہ ٹیل شد. یعنی یہ two outcomes second task امکانات داره. حال ما اینجا هم first outcome tail case ایرا further extend کردیم در دو outcomes، یعنی یک تری ایتور جوڑ کردیم او دوم تری ایتور. یہ چرا که دوم تاسک شوا هم دو امکانات داره او هم دو outcomes میتا، یا خو هیڈ می برای یا ٹیل می برای. حالی یہ تری که جوڑ شد، از یہ تری باید چطور outcomes list شوا او محاسبه شوا که کدام outcome است او چی کدر outcome است. او به نمونه به شکل باید list شوا او معلوم شوا. از این نقطه سیاه به طرف چپ که قرار داره ما از اینجا شروع میکنیم او سر لاین پیش میرم. سر پات ایرم لاین میگا یا پات میگا یا تری میگا. سر یہ لاین سر یہ پات ما پیش میرم. خو یہ پات دو آوتکمز داره. یہ از اینجا که شروع شد از دست چپ به دست راست که اینجا نهایی نقطه است، یہ پات یہ لاین یہ تری دو آوتکم داره. هید از اینجا گرفتیم اینجا نوشته کردیم لیست کردیم که یک اولین پات که است او هید او هید آوتکمز داره. یہ به چی معنی؟ یہ به این معنی که اکسپریمنت که است او دو واری باید تاس شود. اول واری که تاس شد هید برآمد، دوم واری که تاس شد دوبارم هید برآمد. و تو آوتکم شد هید از دو تاس. حالا ما از اینجا دوباره شروع کردیم او ای طرف آمدیم، از این تاس شروع شد اینجا پیش رفتیم به ای طرف آمدیم، یه پات رسم کردیم، یه تری. خو یه تری از اینجا دست چپ شروع کردیم او به ای دست راست آمدیم، یه لاین یه پات یه تری دو آوتکمز را نشان میتا، یک هید است او دوم ټیل است. اینجا آمدیم اینجا نوشته کردیم هید ټیل. یہ به چی معنی؟ یہ به این معنی که اول تاسک شد خو هید برآمد او دوم تاسک شد ټیل برآمد، یعنی یہ دو آوتکم شد. حالا ما اینجا آمدیم به گرین لاین. ایرا چطور باید محاسبه کنیم معلوم کنیم که چند آوتکمز است او کدام است. از این نقطه سیاه شروع کردیم، یہ پات به ای آمدیم به ای طرف، یہ دست راست نقطه است. تا اینجا که آمدیم یہ پات یہ لاین یہ تری دو آوتکمز را نشان میده، یک ټیل او دوم هید. اینجا نوشته کردیم ټیل او اینجا نوشته کردیم هید. یہ به این معنی که وقتی که اول تاس شد او ټیل برآمد یعنی تاس لوز شد، وقتی که دوم تاس شد هید برآمد یعنی تاس وین شد. یعنی دو تاسز دو آوتکمز معلوم کرد، یک ټیل یک هید. دوباره که ما از این نقطه به طرف چپ که قرار داره از اینجا شروع کردیم او به این پات به این تری به این نقطه آمدیم. خو یہ پات یہ لاین که رسم شد یہ دو آوتکمز را نشان میده، ټیل. اینجا آمدیم اینجا لیست کردیم که یہ پات یہ تری دو آوتکمز را نشان میده، ټیل. یہ به این معنی که اول تاسک شد ټیل برآمد، دوم تاسک شد دوبارم ټیل برآمد. خو حالا ما از اینجا محاسبه میکنیم، کاونت میکنیم که توتل نمبر تعداد آوتکمز چند است. یہ یک دو سه چار، یعنی وقتی که تاس شوه کاین دواری توتال اکسپریمنتال آوتکم 4 میبره. چند میبره؟ 4. از اون ما او را از این گراف کشیدیم، اونجا لستم کردیم او آل محاسبم کردیم، کاونتم کردیم که تاس کاین که دواری شوه او 4 آوتکمز را نشان میده و اون آوتکمز یه است. اینجا لستم شد او در حالت تری با این ترتیب جور میشه. I'm again repeating, draw the tree diagram for attending 3 exams. Suppose the students are a single student is giving 3 exams. So giving exam, attending exam is an experiment. And this experiment carry 2 outcomes. The student will pass the exam, कामयाब मेशा, or the student will fail the exam. So the total number of steps of the experiment is 3 because we write attending 3 exam. Experiment is attending exam, but this experiment carry 3 steps. 3 exams the student has to give. And each exam carry 2 possible outcomes. Student will pass, success the exam, or failure, he will fail the exam. Now the question is this, draw the tree diagram for this 3-step experiment attending exam. So now in here as each step carry 2 outcomes, because every exam will carry 2 outcomes. Student will pass the exam or student will fail the exam. So for the pass we are using the symbol S, success in exam, and failure F in exam. Now how we will graph, how we will draw the tree? Again we will start from the very leftmost node. So first exam carry 2 outcomes, success in exam or failure in exam. So we will show this success and failure by drawing 2 trees or 2 paths or 2 lines. This blue line represents success in exam and this green line represents failure F in exam. So this is the first experiment, first exam. Attending first exam carry 2 outcomes, success or failure. Now to graph the tree for the second exam, so we will further extend this first outcome into 2 outcomes. This blue line is for success and this second blue line is for failure. To draw the tree, to graph the lines, to draw the paths, we will extend the first outcome further into 2 outcomes. So this is first outcome, success, and I am extending further into 2 outcomes. So one outcome blue line is success and other blue line is failure. And now I am again extending further this first outcome fail further into 2 outcomes. This green line for success and this green path or line for failure. So again in here we make the tree, we draw the paths, the 4 paths for the second step. In the second step we will further extend the first step, first outcome into 2 paths, and the second outcome again we will further extend into 2 paths. And now this is success, this is failure, this is success, this is failure. Now we will further grab the third exam. So third exam also carry 2 outcomes. So when the third exam, third step of the experiment carry 2 outcomes, we will further extend the first outcome of the second step into 2 outcomes. This is second step, first outcome success. I am further extending into 2 outcomes. This green line is a success and this green line is failure. So I am again repeating, students, that to graph, to make a tree, to make paths for the third step, we will further extend the outcome first outcome of the second step into two paths. So one path is this green line which represents success in exam, and second path green line which represents failure in exam. Now I am again further extending this I am further extending the second outcome of the second step. I am further extending the second outcome, failure of the second step, into two paths, into two lines. So we draw one path here. From this point we extend to this point, and we draw one path here. So we extend the second outcome of the second task further into two outcomes. This is success in exam and this is failure in exam. Now we will come in here, we will again further extend the first outcome of the second task into two paths. So this is one path and this is another. This is success, this is failure, and I am again extending this left node further into two outcomes, success and this is failure. Now we will count the number of experimental outcomes from here. So this path I am following, this start from this break point and we are following this path. I am moving on the path from this point to this point. So this path represent three outcomes, success, success and success. We list in here. Now I am following from this leftmost node onward to the rightmost node, and I am following this path starting from here, moving on this path to this point, rightmost node. I am again telling start from this point, follow the path and come here. So this path represents three outcomes, success, success and failure, S, S and F. Again we will follow this path. We start from here and come here and then here. So look this S, F, S, S, F, S. Again we start from the leftmost node break point and follow the path and move here to this point. So this represent, again this path represent three outcome. One is F, other is F and other is success. So this is S and this F and F. So S, F and F we list in here. Now we will follow this path. Start from this break point, move onward on the path to the rightmost node and we come here. This is rightmost node. So this path carry three outcome, fail, success and success. We list fail, success and success. Now we follow again this path from here and move to this path, this rightmost node. So this carry fail, success and fail. So fail, success and fail. Now again we follow this path from the leftmost node and move onward to the rightmost node. So we move on this path and this is rightmost node. So this carry three outcome, fail, fail and fail, and now we list in here. So in this way we list the possible experimental outcomes of experiment, and now we can count, we can estimate. This is one outcome, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh and eighth outcomes. When student will attend 3 exams, the total possible outcomes are 8. Now what does this SS means? This SS means that when student attend the first exam, he passed the exam. When he attend the second exam, he passed the exam. When he attend the third exam, he passed the exam. Success in exam, all 3 exam passes. But this outcome means when he give the first exam, he passed. Second exam, he passed. But third exam, he failed. Now this outcome means in first exam, he succeed, he passed. In second exam, he failed. And in third exam, again, he succeed, pass. This means that in first exam, he succeed. But other 2 exam, he failed. So in this way, we list the possible 3 outcomes of the 3 exams, that first exam pass, second pass and third pass.